opportunity that exists in this new world of possible stories is to adjust that story for each platform, not to merely copy and paste the text or even the concept, but really speak the language of the local entity. This is an example of a story, and I just want to give a heads up to my AV friends in the back. If we can get the audio working on this, it will work much, much better. Foursquare is a fun platform to play around with, not just to check in or share tips. A friend of mine and I, Jennifer Magnolfi, decided to run a mayoral campaign, a legitimate mayoral campaign using Foursquare as the platform. I was the mayor of a venue. She challenged me. I was greatly offended. I'd been doing a great job as mayor. We experienced peace, great middle-class economic growth, delicious hamburgers. And so everything was going well until this challenge. So we set a term, we set rules of the road, no fake check-ins. We built up campaign staffs. We went there every day for a month in an attempt to race to the top of that mayoral chart. And then we took it to the physical world when I held a rally for my Foursquare mayoral campaign on the streets of New York City across from the venue. Here's a short clip of that.
My name is Baratunde Thurston. I'm running for re-election as mayor of Thurston. Now, some people say that mayorship is just about checking in on Foursquare, but we know that's not true, right?
No! Preach on, preach on!
Mayorship's about cheeseburgers, spring rolls. Can I get an amen? But I'd like to quote from the good book, that'd be the Delicatessen Menu. From the book of sandwiches. We've got the Delicatessen Reuben on rye, and I quote, hand sliced corned beef, sauerkraut Swiss, and Russian dressing. Testify. From the book of dessert. This is a classic, people. It's called Milk and Cookies. Milk and cookies. Say it with me. Milk and cookies. Milk and cookies. Milk and cookies. When I say delica, you say Tessin. Delica. Tessin. Delica. Tessin. When I say cheeseburger, you say spring roll. Cheeseburger. Spring roll. Cheeseburger. Spring roll. When I say whiskey, you say Friday. Whiskey. Friday. Whiskey. Friday. Let's go have some whiskey, people.
So yeah, that happened. And what we didn't capture in that footage, there was a moment right after, not on video, but when you do any sort of political statement, you're often met with an equal and opposite reaction by those opposed to your platform. And this was not staged, this was not coordinated in any way. These are coworkers, former coworkers of mine, who had just had enough of my ego, essentially, and wanted to knock me down a notch, understandably. So we go into the restaurant right after this, and the story doesn't end. There's a man who's very upset. He has witnessed all of this, and he's frustrated and curious and confused as to why what he just saw happened. You're not really running for mayor. You didn't cure AIDS. He says, who are you to have all these people rallying around you? You're getting paid by Delicatessen? Are you getting paid by Foursquare? And I was like, no, man, it's just an art project. Like, settle down, it's gonna be okay. And he said, no, Foursquare owes you reparations for this. I was like, first of all, I don't think that's the word you mean. I don't think Foursquare owes me reparations. And second of all, we can just do this now. We can create an opportunity for people to come together. We also have footage I won't go into, but I actually lost this race. I lost on a day that I had not checked in, decided to help my friend run his real political campaign. And as I was headed out to canvass the neighborhood in the Bronx in New York, I got the alert which says you've been ousted. And I made that famous call that any losing candidate makes, the concession call to my opponent, reminding her that in politics, half the battle is showing up, but in Foursquare, 100% of the battle is showing up. And she showed up clearly a little bit better than I did.